So I'm currently the executive director of Honor the Earth, and right now we're moving and we're naming that climate change is the direct result of settler colonialism, of white supremacy, and racial capitalism. Right. And so as we're organizing and we're continuing to commit to this work that each of us has here, and that each of us has spoken about and are speaking about right now, we want to keep that in mind, that we have to organize at the roots. I think it was Tupac himself that taught me that we have to define our battlefield. Every time that we fight fights on someone else's battlefield, we're already losing. And so when we're fighting within these colonial structures, against these colonial structures, we really have the odds against us. And so he taught me that it was very important to be defining our battlefields. And so that's something I keep in mind, especially when it comes to the doctrine of discovery, which I know Kristen early spoke about it, but just wanted to add the piece of like why that's relevant for all of this. So I really hope this is a very simplified version of how I carry the work that I do, but I go all the way back to the doctrine of discovery. And I think about how that allowed people to come in and to claim our lands, right? Because there were no Christians here. And so our lands were claimed, then began the process of settler colonization, right? Removing us and replacing us with a whole different population. From that point, that was all enforced by the US military. Before the US military was even a thing, it was actually formed around Indigenous resistance. And so that simple template there was really taken and used to invade other Indigenous people's lands overseas and to do the same thing, which is a very simplified way of looking at US imperialism, right? They use the military to justify going to other Indigenous people's lands, removing them, and then claiming the resources in the land in that place, right? But also, why did they do that? Our US officials and congressmen and representatives are supposed to be making decisions on our behalf, on the people's behalf, right? However, most of their campaigns are paid for by corporate lobbyists, right? And corporations. Those corporations want easy access to Indigenous people's lands that we protect. And so politicians make the decisions to keep us in endless wars for no reason. And we continue to invade lands, and we continue to steal resources, and we continue to kill Indigenous people and remove them. And all for capitalism, for the gain of corporations, right? Corporatism. And so I think it's important to always connect those dots whenever we're having these conversations, because it really connects us to Indigenous peoples globally. It reminds us that our struggles are not disconnected, and that our oppressors speak to each other. And so therefore we need to speak. We need to be stronger together. We need to continue to make those relationships and fight alongside each other, and to define our own battlefields.